Hey Pisces, it's Empress Rose here, and welcome to your readings, our general readings. So we take what works, leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And check your other major placements if I don't catch your storyline or energy vibe on this one. So we're going to start with the Oracle of Mystical Moments deck here, for an intuitive vibe of where we're going. Where are we going for Pisces? We're grateful for the accurate message we're about to receive on behalf of Pisces. Oh, it keeps almost wanting to give us something. Oh, let's flip that out. Oh my gosh, another one just got this. Maybe it was a personal reading. I also do personal readings, so contact me if you'd like one of those. Okay. Whew. Well, stranded. We had this brilliant, amazing, great idea, and you were going to show everybody what a great sailor you were, but you were like 12, or the, that's where you were on your learning journey. What can I say? Oh. I was 12. That's where you were on your learning journey. You just didn't know very much. You thought you knew enough. It was like your sophomore effort. You know, they call it sophomore is the wise fool, and it's the student that knows just enough to be dangerous. And you did have this vision. You had this great thing that you wanted, and you were really excited about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. But now you're someplace that you do not know how you got there, and you do not know how to get out of it. And it's actually got this element of humiliation to it too. You're very embarrassed. I mean, luckily there's not a crowd here. But you know what I see in the background here? I see a bit of a rainbow. So this storm has come, and you can't, I don't know if you can see that rainbow over there, but it seems very clear to me. This storm has come, or this thing has happened. It's like a rainbow eye in the background. It's a fog rainbow. So there's not a lot of clarity here, but there is some sort of promise that it is gonna clear up, and you are gonna find your way out. You might even end up with some answers about how you got there, and I mean, I can't see how you're gonna get out of this. Maybe the rest of this reading will show it, but I think that rainbow is it's a promise. The rainbow's a promise that crappy things happen, and they don't necessarily happen again and again. They might be a one-time thing, but you are going to get out of this. That's the promise here. And there's sort of this rainbow eye, this sort of eye of God here that's watching over you, even though you're stranded, and this is fairly embarrassing. You seem to be focusing on, I'm going to say, this relationship here. There's a relationship. So you have the focus card, and this card is looking directly at this couple right here. So, but you're not very focused. You only look focused. You're very committed to what you're looking at. There might be some element of social media involved, or looking through a camera, looking through a lens, something like that. You've gotten a little distracted. You can't see it over on your side of this this camera, but on my side, she's looking out at me. She's looking out at us. She's not looking through the camera. She's a little distracted here. But there's some sort of combination of the distraction and the focus, and some sort of mix between those two things that's causing a really great brainstorm. And she's having lots of ideas, real world ideas that have a lot of promise to them. So maybe these are ideas on how to get out of this little embarrassing jam you've gotten yourself into here. But one thing she could be focusing on, and this is the lay of the cards, so is this couple. This is the healthiest couple in the deck, because she's a mermaid, and she's from the more emotional, intuitive side of things. She's a bit of a mess. But you know what? She loves her home. She loves the water. She loves who she is. She loves being a mermaid. And she's with this sort of bookish librarian type or a professorial type who's got this like top hat here and these bright ideas, and works more in the world of ideas. He's from the world of the air and the world of these ideas. And he loves the air and he loves these ideas. So when they get together, they're both very happy with who they are and can respect the other person's world and the other person's ideas. They really like that. They think that that's, you know, it brings some variety to their lives, but they're not coming from, neither of them, they're so opposite, but neither of them are coming from a place of, you're better than me, I'm not very good, here, let me, you know, be with you so that you can make me better. And neither of them are coming from a place of lack. So that might be the type of relationship that you're focused on having. It might not be what you want. It might not be where you're at, because where you're at is kind of sucky right now. But that might be you might be focusing on that, on what you'd like with that. And then we have to the moon and back. So this is a very future focused, both of them are very focused on the future, the observer and this lady to the moon and back. And she's got something on her heart that she'd like to communicate, and something back a little further that she's not communicating. It could have been a communication to her. There can be some heart communication here, but mostly she is not going anywhere, not moving anywhere, because she's worried about the future. She's looking at the future and she's very worried about it. And there are some things on her heart. She's not communicating about them at all. But she is looking towards the future, and as is this couple. This couple's looking towards the future. Oh my gosh, everybody here is looking in the same direction. They're all looking towards what we culturally call the future. That's dependent on how our language is arranged, but what we call the future, we're all looking towards it. This kid is looking towards the future of, you know, when his boat gets out of this tree. She's looking at the future, getting a little distracted maybe. This couple's both looking towards the future. He's looking out at us though. She's looking out at us. Anyway, there's something in the future that's really caught your eye. You're worried about it and you're very focused on it. Oh, and we're gonna go to Moonology now. All right, Moonology. What do we have for our dear Pisces? But you're not talking about it, you're not moving yet, you're just sitting on it. It's something intuitive. You're sitting on your intuition here. And it's just not, you're not going anywhere with it. You're just sitting with it, which is fine. We want to sit with things for a while. All right, Moonology. Did you have something you wanted to say today, or are we just here to look pretty? Looking pretty is fine, but I was just wondering. Oh, okay. New moon in Libra. A new romantic cycle begins is what the card says. But I read this as any kind of new relationship cycle, starting in balance and very balanced, very even. Both sides of the equation being taken into account. And yeah, very, very balanced, very even, very, it's a new cycle. So this could be, you know, a new, you're with somebody, this could be somebody new, or this could be somebody you've been with for a while. That's just, you're just hitting a reset button, or a new reset button here. And you're starting a new cycle. So something new is beginning. It could be romantic. It could be work. With this Mermaid's Love card here, I kind of feel like we are talking about a relationship, but this Mermaid's Love could also be like a business. You come in as the creative for a super intellectual business, a super spreadsheet heavy business, you know, or you come in as the spreadsheet provider for a creative business or something like that. So it could be work related too. And then a first quarter moon, your commitment is being tested. So we're halfway there. We've got some sharp corners. We might be losing the plot for a while. We've got some clouds coming in. I think that means something different in a different country, but we might be losing our you know, here we have some clouds coming in, and we might not be able to see the moon or our goals for a while. They might be clouded. We might have to make some decisions. We might have to do some difficult things that we weren't really anticipating. This has come up from anything from like an email that takes a little extra long to compose to, you know, actually like having to make some really hard decisions. Everything in this, we're dealing with archetypes when we talk about tarot and these sorts of things. So everything comes in as pretty dramatic. So it's not always that dramatic. I mean, that's what I'm saying with this new romantic cycle begins. If you're already coupled, this is something new starting up with, you know, this is a renewal. This is a renewal of the relationship, because they tend to like get a little fizzled out, and then we kind of like, oh, that's right, you. I love you. I love having you in my life. Okay. And then, you know, daily life gets in. So they tend to have some cycles. So you'll be starting a new cycle with somebody in your life. Or something, but I'm pretty sure that's somebody. Your commitment to that thing is definitely going to come up into question. There are going to be some sharp corners to navigate. All right, ethereal visions. This is Pisces past, present, inner landscape. What's at issue? The environment, the to-do list, and the possible outcome. This is cute. All right, in your past you have temperance. So temperance is about trying to balance some things out, some extreme things. Like this could be, I hate this, I love this, and bringing these together. So this is my bartender card. You can see she's doing a very fancy mixing job there. And so you're taking your bitters and your simple syrups and you're mixing them together to something that you'd actually want to drink. So you're taking your extreme hot, gonna, you know, cause 3rd-degree burns, McDonald's coffee hot over here, and you've got your like ice cubes over here, and you're gonna bring them together to make something that's hopefully drinkable and not 100% lukewarm, but enjoyable. So you've been in this process of sort of, or it could be an idea of like that you want for the future, but it seems so far away, or something like that, and you're trying to like bring them together, like, okay, future idea, come into my current mind space so I can, you know, get used to this idea, something like that. It's getting tempered, things are getting tempered, and it's probably required a lot of patience on your part to do that work, because it's not the funnest work, bringing things into balance and inching things towards a more palatable, useful. Like I always think of a sword getting tempered here, tempered steel. And, you know, it's becoming stronger, but it's a long process. So you've probably had to require some patience. Certainly this itch requires some patience right here. In your present situation, you have the Fool. You have leaping off. Look, you're on a cliff here. You got your little dog with you. You're on a cliff in the mountains, but the sun is shining. The clouds have dispersed. We don't have clouds dispersing in this one, though. Maybe they are dispersing, but you have these clouds dispersing. You're seeing the sun. You're super excited. This is like, there's this movie called The Unsinkable Molly Brown from the 70s. It's not very good, but there's this whole like 20-minute guy singing in the mountains montage. And this is, I swear, a picture of that. This is a still from that film. And you're dancing, you've got a dream you've got with you. And you know what? You understand that dancing on a precipice is probably not safe. But you're okay. You've calculated the risks and you're willing to take them. This isn't total ridiculousness, but this is the beginning of the great journey. This is card 0. This is the tarot, the beginning of the whole journey through tarot, and lots of adventures await. So in your present moment, there's something that's come up that's creating this really cool new adventure for you. It's a question: are you going to do this? Are you going to jump? And your situation's asking that of you, and it looks maybe you will. In your inner landscape, you are wanting to feel like an emperor. You definitely want to feel in control, or you are feeling like an emperor. Or you're afraid of an emperor. You might be being afraid of being controlled, being afraid of someone who is very controlling and who has a lot of say, more say than you, for sure. But this could also be hoping to get in that energy. This is such a boss energy. This is such a I have what I need. I don't need to prove anything. I have the power that I need. I have the resources that I need. He's the king of kings, you know, and that's that energy. And it reminds me of my son had 2 teachers in middle school. One went around the classroom saying, you know, I'm in charge, I'm in charge, I'm in charge. And everybody, I'm the teacher, I'll tell you what. And my son said the class was just in constant chaos, and that's why he always felt like he needed to say that. But he had this other teacher that he liked much more, whose class was always very controlled. Never once had to say, I'm the teacher, because he just had that energy, just had that vibe. Never had to prove anything, never had to tell the class, I'm the teacher. Never even had to do classroom discipline. He just had a whole vibe about him that the middle school students were like, yeah. So anyway, this is the energy you want. This is the energy you're craving. You could also be afraid of someone being controlling, but we're not. I think you're wanting to come into that energy, or you are already feeling that energy. But that you've got that vibe going on of, I don't need to prove anything. Don't ask me to jump. I'm not going to ask you how high. I'm not jumping through your hoops. I'm not doing any of this stuff for you. I am in my power. I decide what I do, and I'm not going to do whatever anybody else tells me to do. At issue, so taken in the reversal, we have the Six of Pentacles. So taken in the reversal. So we have some stinginess, maybe and I'm seeing this in your environment a little bit too. We're having this, something feels unfair. There's not a lot of generosity. Something about the situation lacks generosity. The help is not here. The help is not here yet, but it's not here. You're feeling very like you have to beg and plead, and you're feeling a lack of something. And someone's not being very generous. It's about relationship. We have 3 people here, and it's something about generosity, and it's not happening. It's a stinginess. It could be with money. You could be lacking money right now. You could be having to beg for money, but you're not. You're definitely in the upright. I like to think of us as this one, being very generous, making life fair. I always heard that phrase, life's not fair. And I always thought as a kid, like, but isn't your job to make it fair? Aren't we trying to make it fairer for everybody? So I like to see this figure as trying to make life fair for people, be fair and be generous to people that haven't had generosity. But here in the reversal, there seems like there might be some competition for limited resources, and you're not being treated fairly, or someone isn't being treated fairly in the situation. In your environment, you have the Hermit. So normally I don't read the signs, but this might be a Virgo in your environment. This is also isolation, which we all have quite a bit of right now, or many of us do. Half of us seem to be isolated, and the other half of us seem to be like working our asses off and can't catch a break. But there's this isolated energy. There's this time to go within, time to check in with your own North Star. This is actually really powerful energy. Some people are saying it's a conspiracy to keep us all apart, but they wouldn't do that if they knew how. I mean, how could everybody being in their own energy all day, checking in with their own North Star, and sort of becoming distilled versions of themselves as they sit at home? How could that be? I don't know. Anyway, apparently this is politics now, but not politics. I'm not talking about that, but I'm just saying this is powerful. What goes on, this isolation, this looking to your own North Star, following your own steps, listening to your own truth, your own inspiration, your own intuition. That's what's going on. That's in the environment. Everybody's doing that right now. There's a lot of that going on, and I think it's a very powerful thing. I think our busyness has kept us not finding time to do that work to follow our own North Star, to uncover our own North Star. So there's some isolation going on in your environment. Your to-do list is this Ace of Cups. Are you ready to do this? Do you think you're this is again a beginning of a new romantic cycle. This is basically the same exact card as this one. The beginning of a new romantic cycle. It's divinely timed, but it has to do with you. You have to start the relationship. You have to bring in this emotionally powerful, life-giving new beginning. So the cups are all about emotion, and the ace is the first step. The ace is this first first a beginning of an emotional connection. So maybe you're coming into this, you're very focused on something, on this new cycle beginning. So yeah, this is your energy. I think you're meant to be offering the cup. So normally this is, in any other situation, this would be the divine bringing in this new cup, this new beginning. But this looks like, since this is your to-do list, not the divine's to-do list, your to-do list is to bring in this cup. To bring in this new cup, this emotional cup, to share something emotional with someone, with the world, to share that. And then your possible outcome here. So the cup, turns out it's very effective because now we have this Ace of Wands coming in. And look, it's blooming, it's got flowers, it's got these, it's a blooming wand. So this can, honestly, this looks like a new romantic cycle because, right, the Ace of Wands can be a little bit sexual. It doesn't quite have the same sexual vibe as the Rider-Waite deck in this one, but it is, the wands can be intuition, sexuality, creativity, all of that. So it's a new beginning also that comes in. When you bring in your Ace of Cups, the Ace of Wands comes in and you guys have a really great relationship. This definitely looks very relationship-y to me. Normally, I like to keep it really general. So this could be, a passion project, a hobby, a friendship, some sort of relationship like that. But because we have the Ace of Cups, we have sort of a feminine and a masculine here. Not to be too crude, but cards are the cards. I didn't invent them. So there could be some sort of new beginning here. There definitely looks like you bring in some emotional offering, and then what gets offered, look, they're even like, oh, they're not set up. My camera doesn't quite. So they're offering it towards each other. So an emotional beginning, a passionate beginning. So you offer the passion, or you offer the emotional new beginning, and the spirit, life, something else comes in with this passionate, new, inspired beginning. But my goodness, your commitment has been tested, as we see with this Temperance card. And so anyway, Pisces, that was a pretty exciting reading for me anyway. I thought that was interesting. So thanks for your likes, subscribes, comments. I really appreciate them. They're very encouraging for me, and also they raise the visibility of the channel so that other people can find these messages too. So I hope you have a wonderful week. It looks like it's very possible. So